Hi, this is Michelle Caskey from Homeschool-Your-Boys.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about homeschool record keeping. Now, if your kids are younger than high school age, record keeping is very simple, and I'm going to show you how I keep track of what I've been teaching my children through the years, and then hopefully that will help you to have a better idea of an easy way you can also keep track of what your children have been learning over the years. Now, let me just make sure that I say that there's not one right way to do this. Some states have very specific requirements about what they expect you to keep track of when it comes to record keeping, and some states you don't have to even keep records at all. And I happen to live in a state where it's very low regulation and I don't have to keep homeschool records for my boys. But I want to keep some records for them because I want to be able to look back and remember what I've taught them over the years. And I've lived long enough to know now that I'm not going to remember everything if I don't write some of it down. So I'm going to share what I've done with them, and hopefully that will be helpful to you and give you an idea of some records that you might want to keep for your children. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to do is get a binder to keep all of your homeschool records in, and you can get these at Walmart or anywhere that's cheap. It doesn't even need to be very thick because you're only going to have a page or two for each year that your child is homeschooling. So just go ahead and pick a binder and I will show you what to put in that binder next. Alright, so here you can see that I've created a sheet that has my son's name, it has the school year that he is currently in and his grade. I also like to include a picture just so that I can kind of remember what they look like at the time, and it's also just makes it look a little bit more official. So then I have a table that I have put in here that has the subject, it's the school subject that they're studying. It has the specific material that they used for studying that subject, and then we obviously teach for mastery, so they have A's for the different semesters. After that, I like to include lists of books that we have read aloud, books that they have read on their own, and you can see there's quite a list here. With that, I like to include some of the different extracurricular activities they did throughout the year, and I also have a list of various field trips that they have gone on throughout the year and any volunteer work which they have done. Here's another example of one of my record keeping sheets, and again you can see that I have it set up the same way. I've got the personal information at the top, the subjects that they studied, and then read aloud books, books they've read on their own, extracurricular activities, field trips, and any volunteer work. So it's pretty straightforward. After that, I actually like to print these sheets off, and I put them in these plastic page protector sheets that you can get and keep them nice, and then I put them in the binder. So as you can see, I put one on each side. I guess you could probably print double-sided. I just go ahead and print normal and then stick these sheets in the page protectors and put them in the binder, and then I do that for each year that my sons have completed, and I have a very nice record of what they have done throughout the year. So that's how I did record keeping when my boys were pre-high school age. Now I'm going to show you the record keeping that I've started doing for them since they've entered the high school years. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. For high school, I'm actually a little bit more structured in how I do things. I include a little bit more detail. I have this introduction page, and then I have their transcript, which I print out at the end of each year, but then I also update it as we go through and they do their subjects. And then I, with cardstock, I've made these separator pages for each year. And then I have the course descriptions that I have created for each subject that they have done. I also like to include, this is a class that my son did online, and it has the evaluation from the instructor and then also the certificate of completion. I like to have those. Here's another award for a speech that he was in. Here's a basketball photo. I like to put all those different types of things in there because it helps me remember some of the things that they were involved in. And then I have the next separator sheet. Other son's binder. I actually also like to include hours logs for classes such as phys ed or drama or filmmaking or things that don't involve using a textbook, just to make sure that we are putting in enough hours for it to actually constitute a half credit or a full credit or whatever. So I have those. And then in the back, after all the class descriptions, course descriptions, I have this reading list that I also try to keep updated. I still need to update that for this year. And I think I have a list of audiobooks also. So hopefully that helps you to see what is possible when it comes to homeschool record keeping. And like I said, there's not one right way to do it. It doesn't have to be super complicated. The goal here is that we would have a record of what we've been teaching our kids, that we would have the tools to be able to share with colleges if they require this type of information, and that we would just have a keepsake of some of the things that we've gone through in these homeschooling years that are so precious to us. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and if you have any other questions, I would love to answer them to the best of my ability. Feel free to leave your questions in the comments below, and I will attempt to answer them. And again, this is Michelle Caskey from Homeschool-Your-Boys.com, and I hope you have a wonderful day.